What should voters know about what you stand for? What will you bring to this department after election?
I'd like for them to realize my training, my experience, my job performance before I came here to the Sheriff's Department with the other departments. I worked at Johnston City Police Department, then worked at SIU Police Department. About 38 years of experience total. That's full-time sworn law enforcement experience. Graduate of the FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia. Retired from SIU after 15 years. I was a shift commander. And I was also a bomb squad commander for 12 years over there too. That's probably really important. Then my ideas, what I've done since I've been in office here, and some of the plans I've got for the future. I think that's really important for people to realize. And I really wish they would do their homework and check the people out before they vote. Don't just vote for me because I'm a Democrat, or don't vote for my opponent because he's a Republican. Do some research. Find out for yourself who the better qualified person is, who the better person is, and vote. You know, your conscience instead of your politics. Judici.com, Judici is an excellent resource for doing backgrounds or doing checks on people. You know, log on Judici.com, type my name in, read what comes up. Type my opponent's name in, read what comes up. Very informative tool.
What will you bring to the department as sheriff?
I think a proactive policy on enforcing the law. You know, one of the big issues has been insurgents and gang crime. The outlaws have been the most public and obvious infiltration into the county. But we're also seeing resurgence of gangster disciples and other gang activity as well. And I believe that you have to have a proactive approach to this job. And I think that saying that we're going to monitor the situation and continue to monitor the situation, at some point you have to take action. And I believe that being out front, letting these people know that they're not welcome here to begin with, and then enforcing that idea, I believe is the quickest, most efficient solution.
What challenges do you face here that you didn't expect, or that you haven't faced in other places, in other positions?
I had a pretty good handle on it before I started, before I got the appointment here. I'd done my research and knew what the job consisted of, and had a good handle on it. I think I've proven my ability here in 8 months. I've done a lot to improve morale in the department. I've initiated some programs that are fantastic programs with no added expense to the county taxpayers. You know, take for instance the Cold Case Squad. You know, a group of volunteer retired detectives coming in and working these old homicide cases. The Citizens Police Academy. We're just finishing up. Next week's the last week of the first Citizens Police Academy we've done. It'll be Tuesday night. Great program. It lets the community know what we do and why we do it. And it also makes my officers aware that there are good people out there, because you know, they deal a lot with people that aren't the best people, or even when they're not on their best behavior when they're dealing with them, even if they are good people. You know, they've either had an accident or they're getting a ticket, something like that. And it's good for my guys to teach the classes and to meet the people like that. It's a good program. The firearms training range, we've got that built in just a short time. No expense to the taxpayers. Probably $85,000, $90,000 worth of work contributed or donated to the firearms range. Just great. They should have had one of those, you know, 30 years ago, but no one had taken the initiative to do it. And it's not all on me. I had some real dedicated officers to the firearms training program that helped with that. You know, and they did most of the legwork. But it's teamwork. It's a teamwork approach to get the job done.
What surprised you at first when you took that job, that office?
Well, I think that it's just such an overwhelming position to have. I mean, you have the jail, which is a huge responsibility in and of itself. And in my case, I have correctional officer experience. You have a communications room that serves the entire county. You have courtroom security that's under your bailiwick, civil process, and of course patrol of the county, investigations. It's a huge job, and I think it requires a background not only in law enforcement, but also in administration and the proper education and background to do that job.
We've had several stabbings recently in the county. We've had several homicides, not necessarily in your jurisdiction, but in the county. Mainly Marion's had a lot of them. What's your reaction to that? Is there a way to prevent these heinous crimes from happening?
You know, crimes happen, and that's why you need law enforcement. You can get out into the communities and try to educate people on how they should act and how they, but you have to start young. That's why the DARE program was so successful. You start when they're young, you try to educate them when they're young, and then as they raise, they remember what you taught them. But in the last 2 months, we've had 4 people stabbed. One lady got her throat cut. 2 homicides. We got there's some issues in the county, and we need to address them. And I think we do that not only by arresting the people, the perpetrators of those crimes, but if we can get into the communities and educate them on how to act, how to react if someone does, get out of a car with a gun or something, and what to do. There's some things we can do, but the crime's going to happen.
Does the major case squad play a role in that also? The
major case squad on both homicides, they've worked together and cleared both homicides in less than 48 hours on both of them. That's a wonderful organization. It's no one department has the resources, time, or money to investigate a homicide like that and get it done in a timely manner. So we bring in officers from other agencies of the system. Works great.
We've had, they haven't necessarily been in the Williamson County jurisdiction, but they've been in Williamson County. The recent stabbings in Marion, a couple homicides now.
Mm-hmm.
What's your reaction to that? And is there a way to protect? Is there a way to prevent those from happening?
Obviously, violent crime, serious crime is on the upswing in Williamson County. I don't think anybody can deny that. But again, you have to have a proactive approach. Let's find the elements that are causing this upswing in violent crime, and let's concentrate on those. Simply sitting back and investigating the crimes once they happen is not the answer. Far too often, law enforcement takes that approach, and the problem simply foments. You have to be out there out front, searching for those elements that are causing these crime problems.
How do you differ in your plan and your policies from your opponent?
I'm not really sure what his plan is. I know what he did between '94 and '98, and I would hope that I would be able to have a better working relationship with the other agencies than he had, with the other entities of county government than he had, and I've all the training experience in the world that do that. That's what my life has been. I've been a police officer all my life and a police administrator for 32 years.
How would you say you differ from your opponent?
I think that Interim Sheriff Vick has proven through his few months as interim sheriff that he's willing to sit back and wait and investigate a crime after it's occurred. And certainly that's part of the job. But when he makes statements about the outlaws that they haven't done anything here yet, or he makes a statement on the radio that they might make good neighbors, it makes you take pause. Is this person really serious about combating these serious crime elements? And with the upswing in crime in this county, violent crime, is he the person that really has the energy and the ability to take this on?